Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast interview tutorial. From Soundtrap, you're going to find your project and open up your project for the podcast. This is a blank project here, but you are welcome to use your previous podcast as a start. So you're going to make sure you have a track both for you and for your guest. It may be helpful to label the tracks with your name and your guest's name. In this case, my guest happens to have the same name as me, so we'll go with Matt C and Matt S. And then you're going to click on the Collaborators button and invite your guest to the podcast. So click Invite, and that will bring them into this project. Then you can use the chat window to ask when your collaborator is ready, and then click the call button to start a video chat with your guest. To record, make sure that your record enable button is armed, and that is the red R, and then I would count down 3, 2, 1 and click the record button together with your guest, and that'll ensure that your recording start at roughly the same time. Your guest will also have to record enable their track as well, and only their track. I would recommend doing a practice take to make sure this works, and then click Save and Sync on both sides. Both you and your guest need to click Save and Sync in order to see both audio tracks. So now I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1 and begin the podcast. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the Teaching Music with Online Digital Audio Workstations podcast. We really appreciate you visiting us today.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So I can tell by your T-shirt, but would you mind telling the listeners where you're at right now?
So I live in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philadelphia on an area called the Main.
Oh, well, Matthew, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your thoughts about music and the direction of community music making. I really appreciate that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you go? Anything to plug?
I don't have anything to plug. Next year.
A YouTube channel?
No, that's all right.
How Instagram?
We can put my YouTube channel in the notes. We can do that.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll link there.
But
all right.
Yeah. This
has been our first episode of Teaching Music with Online Digital Audio Workstations. Thank you to our guest, Matthew Stanford. Thanks so much, and go 76ers.
Yeah, if they ever play again, I'll take it. All right, have a good one.
Sounds good.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks, Matthew. Okay, and once you are done with the podcast session, click Save and ask your guest to save that on their end as well. And then there'll be a button to sync. You'll see a pop-up button that says that your collaborator has made changes, sync, and then you should be able to see both your audio as well as your collaborator's audio. Now, if you listen back, and I'll play this, but it probably won't come through the channel. You may notice that there's a little bit of a difference in when the guest responds to when you ask a question. And you can adjust that by moving your guest's audio to the right or left to line up in case they didn't press record at the exact same time that you did. But you should be able to tell. Hopefully, if you zoom in to the project, hopefully you'll see that your collaborator is speaking when you are not, and you are speaking when your collaborator is not, kind of like this. And that's kind of what you're looking for. And if you notice there's a lot of overlap and you're talking over one another, the chances are that the recording did not start at the exact same time. So this recording went a little bit longer. So this is a 25-minute interview. I'm going to go through and edit this down to about maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so. And that is how you record a podcast in Soundtrap.